something that really motivated me today was getting messages and seeing these messages and seeing these reports about how suicide. We're getting a year's worth of suicide in 4 weeks.
In 4 weeks. Yeah, I read that same article this morning.
And so it's yeah, exactly. And so that really motivated me to reach out a little bit more, and videos and family and community. I mean, that's serious stuff. And it just sucks because this sucks right now, but it amplifies everything, and who knows, God knows what people are feeling. But to go that far down into the darkness, that many people, it's just overwhelming. And I think having some type of help or reaching out, knowing that this stuff will pass, it's just the future you the future you will be okay if you move on, if you continue and you work on things. And that's what the video was a little bit about, even though it was about dating. But taking one step at a time of undoing suffering. Right. I think it's something that we do a lot of at Jaunty. It's not just like, and we're like anti, like, oh, go be confident, right? We're anti that. What I think we're more about is undoing the fidgety stuff, like undoing the negative thoughts, and like undoing the stuff that are hurting us. Well, maybe we should stop doing that, and it takes a lot of work. And I think when people start standing up straight, opening up, talking more, pushing themselves, laughing more, you can push through some dark times and see some glimmers of hope if you need that.
Yeah. Well, also, like, in the way that we do things, where we break it down and look at the things that we can control and we try to improve those, like that's another thing too. It puts the power into your hands. It gives you agency. So like when people know what to start focusing on, it gives them a directive, it gives them a goal, it gives them something to think about other than their stressors, right? It's like our counting the blinks exercise. Like it's
right.
Like it gives somebody what?
It gives someone an aim.
Yeah, something to look at and start gearing towards, instead of thinking about what's behind them and what's going to be dragging them down, right? You're becoming goal oriented rather than outcome oriented. And like you're starting to think about, like, the positive things, you have an internal locus of control, right? You're thinking about the things that I can do, and then you're also thinking about like what I can do right rather than what can go wrong. And that's when people, I think people get caught in, like, especially when they're depressed. Like when you're already depressed, it's so hard to get into that mode, right? But there are factors that you have to achieve, right? Like you have to feel like, I think the times I've been depressed, I've had to reach a moment of where I felt like I was rock bottom, and look at myself and go, and like, obviously push everything out away from me, push all the distractions. Like I'm depressed, so I don't even want to like distract myself with movies or video games or drinking or whatever. I'm depressed, right? So I'm thinking I have to just think about myself and go, man, I suck. What do I have to do here? What is it that makes me suck? And then finding some drive, or at least some discipline, to start like moving forward with things, and like focus, do a little, take care of your body, exercise, do something hard that you can do.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's hard when you're in that really dark place. And I think taking on just a little bit of responsibility, right? Even if it's a friend helping with something, or if it's with yourself, is cleaning up or doing a little exercise, like you said, having a little bit of responsibility, that will that will give you the motivation. It'll give you a little serotonin and dopamine. And I mean, it's hard because when you're in that place, when you're in that fucking dark place, man, it's like you truly don't believe that there's hope.
Yeah.
Like you truly don't believe anything will help. And it's so many people have come out of that or has seen, has seen the light after that, that you have to believe that. You have to say, it will get better. This too shall pass.
Well, that's where you're starting to use your rational mind, right? Like your rational mind has seen other people get out of depression. And
so it can happen.
And so it can happen. It's just you don't feel like it can happen. And feeling is a bigger motivator than knowledge. And that's why at that point, that's why I said the word discipline, because I don't think necessarily you have to be motivated to do it. You just have to be disciplined to do it. And, to the ability to be like, all right, I'm going to clean my house. I'm going to start with my desk. I'm going to clean my desk. Once you clean your desk, you're like, oh, wow, this is like, I can feel like I can actually do more work at my desk now. I can, I'm not cluttered. I'm not scatterbrained all over the place. Right. And then you move on to cleaning your living room, and then you move on to cleaning your kitchen, and then you move on to cleaning your bedroom. You clean your room and you make your bed.
Oh yeah. Jordan Peterson. Stand up straight with your head back. Yeah. Or with your shoulders back.
Shoulders back. Stand up straight,
Don't you know?
I'm sorry, but you got to do it.
You better do it, bucko. He's the man.
Anyways.
I'm actually using two of his books to raise my mic.
Yeah.
As we speak. But yeah, so that's sad. And I think being there for people, and that's kind of what motivated the video. So yeah, I think another reach out. That's why, even in the beginning of the quarantine, one of the first things I sent out was, if you need to talk, here's the schedule once, like here's free sessions with me for like 15 minutes or 40 minutes. And something I was worried about like a long time ago, because hey, if you want to bring someone down, all you have to do is isolate them from people, and just isolate them. Don't let them go outside. And then, the financial stuff and, if you don't have someone living with you, it's really hard. If you don't have someone, or if you're not seeing someone, it's hard, So yeah, even helping one person makes a big difference. Hopefully all of our community is standing, standing with each other. And so,
I mean, I'm 2 degrees removed from somebody I found out this morning, from somebody who committed suicide because of this. I know somebody whose relative worked with somebody who committed suicide because she was alone. She was lonely during this time. And it's so sad that, like, now thinking about that, putting what we just said into like practice, it's like, okay, so we do know that we need to be with people. We need to connect. And like, even if that's like taking an online class or going to an online happy hour and just putting yourself out there to make a conversation, like that's going to be so much more helpful than just like isolating.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to think that hopefully, I know a lot of our, for instance, our alumni and students and people maybe we've touched along the way, have, while we were able to go out and, something we always push was like, create your social circle, and people would come in talking about like, oh, I don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend. And the first thing I'd ask is be like, okay, I hear you. However, how's your how's your support group? How's your, something I always say in our one-on-ones is, how's your friend side of things too? How's your friends and family side? And so having that friends and family social circle is one of the cornerstones that will help you create all the other things socially as well. But I think I'm hoping, people are glad or happy or have gratitude toward the relationships that they've made in the last, 7 years, 10 years that we've been teaching this, more than that, but and that's what's helping them get through this. It's like, always get those friend circles. And so when something like this happens, so